Everyone talks about the stone. But listen closely. What if I told you David didn't win with the stone? He won long before he ever picked it up. What if I told you the moment the stone left his hand, the battle was already over? Not because of strength, not because of luck, but because of something invisible. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you see your battles forever. Everyone talks about the battlefield, but almost no one talks about the hidden place. Because David's victory did not begin in front of Goliath. It began where nobody was watching. Imagine this, a young boy in the middle of nowhere. No crowd, no recognition, no applause, just silence, just responsibility, just pressure. Day after day, night after night, protecting sheep, unknown, unseen, uncelebrated. And this is where most people fail, because we all want the spotlight, but we ignore the process. Then one day, the silence breaks. A lion appears, not in a story, not in imagination, a real threat. Teeth, power, speed, fear becomes real. And here is the moment that defines everything. David could run. No one would blame him. No one would even know. But instead, he steps forward, heart pounding, hands shaking, but something inside him refuses to back down, and he fights. Not for fame, but for responsibility, not to be seen, but because it was right. And somehow, he wins. Then comes something worse, a bear, stronger, more aggressive, more dangerous. And now the question is different. It's no longer, can he fight? It's, will he still stand again? Because real growth is not in one victory, it's in consistency. And once again, no audience, no reward, no recognition, just pressure, just risk, just faith. And again, David stands. And again, he wins. And listen carefully. These were not accidents. These were not random events. This was preparation. Because there is a principle most people don't understand. God will never expose you publicly without training you privately. David didn't discover courage in front of Goliath. He developed it when nobody was looking. But here is what most people miss. David didn't just fight animals, he built something deeper. In the silence of the fields, David discovered the presence of God. No distractions, no noise, just him and God. He learned to worship when no one was listening. He learned to pray when no one was watching. He learned to listen when no one was speaking. And this is powerful, because when you spend time with God, you begin to think differently. You begin to see differently. You begin to respond differently. Now David arrives at the battlefield, and everything changes. Chaos, fear, noise, an entire army paralyzed, and at the center, a giant, massive, intimidating, unstoppable in appearance. Everyone sees the same thing, a problem too big to defeat. But David does not react like everyone else. He asks a question. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? That's not just a sentence, that's revelation. David is not looking at size, he is looking at identity. This man has no covenant with God, which means this man has no protection, which means this man is already defeated. Others see size, David sees absence. Others see danger, David sees limitation. Others see power, David sees vulnerability. And this is the difference. You don't lose because your problem is big. You lose because your perception is small. Now listen carefully. David doesn't stay silent. He speaks, And not just anything, he declares, "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord. Today, the Lord will deliver you into my hands." Notice something shocking. David speaks the future as if it already happened. No doubt, no hesitation, no fear in his voice. Because here is the mystery. Words are not just sounds. They are direction. They are alignment. They are authority. While others describe the problem, David defines the outcome. Now something strange happens. Goliath reacts. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" Why is a giant offended? Because David is not impressed. David is not intimidated. David is not reacting to size. And your enemy is always disturbed when you refuse to fear it. Now the moment arrives. Silence, tension, expectation. David walks forward. No armor, no sword, no shield. Just a sling, 5 stones, and something invisible. Confidence, not arrogance. Alignment. This is not luck. This is mastery. David trained this for years. Every throw, every movement, every adjustment built in secret. And now, what was invisible becomes undeniable. He takes the stone, feels it, focuses. His breath slows. Everything becomes clear. Not because time stopped, but because purpose is sharp. He releases. The stone flies, and in that moment, it's not just a stone, it's everything combined. Preparation, presence, perception, words, action, alignment. The stone hits, direct, precise, final, and the giant falls forward, immediately, without resistance, because this fight was decided long ago. This was never David versus Goliath. It was alignment versus misalignment, covenant versus absence, faith versus fear, and alignment always wins. Now stop. Think about your life. Your Goliath may not look like a giant. It could be fear. It could be failure. It could be doubt. It could be lack. It could be something that feels impossible. But the question is not, how big is it? The question is, how do you see it? Do you see it like the crowd, or do you see it like David? Because your victory will not start in public. It will start in private, in discipline, in consistency, in silence, in prayer, in preparation. So, the next time you face your Goliath, don't focus on its size. Focus on your alignment. Do not stay silent. Speak. Do not hesitate. Move. Because your victory may already be decided. If this message speaks to you, don't just watch. Respond, subscribe, like, share this with someone who needs strength right now, and comment, "I will see like David." Because some stories are not just meant to inspire you, they are meant to transform your life forever.